Okay, so you will never hear me say you shouldn't eat these particular macronutrients. There are three, by the way. We have seen carbohydrates, we haven't seen protein. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 7 reasons why you should not stop eating fats. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Live Healthy, Look Good. Coming from the previous videos in which, if you don't know, I started to speak about fats and what they are and why should we eat them and so on and so forth. In this video I'm going to give you these famous 7 reasons why fats are good. And so let's start. By the way, in the next video I'm going to talk about those fats in detail. So if you've been following me from the previous video, you will see the answer to the poll that I've been raising previously about which fat you don't want to eat. Well, actually, you want to eat, but you should not. Okay, but in this one, let's just focus. It's gonna be hopefully short. Let's just focus on these 7 reasons. So, the first reason is that fats are the biggest source of energy in our body, and not only because we may have a lot of fat, which can be one of the reasons why, but also because, as we have seen, they are very high density macronutrients. So they contain 9 calories per gram instead of the 4 calories per gram that carbohydrates have and even proteins have. Now let's pretend that we can use, actually we can, our body doesn't want to, but our body can use all these 3 macronutrients to produce energy. And let's pretend that 30% is the one exact third of these 3 macronutrients we have in the body. Okay, so actually, let's pretend that we're not going to 100%. We just pretend that 90% is 100%. That's just because it makes things easier from a number perspective. Because otherwise, I would have to say 33%, 0.33333333. Well, if I say 30%, it's so much easier. But you know what I mean. So let's pretend we have 30% of fat, 30% of carbohydrates, and 30% of proteins in our body, and we need them all for some mysterious reasons. We will use them all. 9 calories per gram against 4 calories per gram. You know, you have already, more than double. So more than double of the 2 macronutrients, carbohydrates and proteins, combined, just because we have fat. So that means if we have only 15% of fat, we still have more than the 2 other macronutrients combined, okay, because they're more than double as much. And I will say numbers, they are on my website though, if you want to read the article. It's about 108,000 kilocalories of energy just provided by fat in an average person, which obviously doesn't apply to everybody. It's just a number thrown there because it's a statistic which I have found. But by the way, that's more or less true according to statistics. The second reason why fats are good is exactly because they are good. They taste good. So fats usually are those things that make food tasting better. They give them palatability. I think I wrote it. I wrote palatability. It's not a very usual word, I think, but though still, it's still correct. Hopefully, just please let me know if it's not. I'm gonna change the article in the blog. But though, so I know. Then it's very relative. It's very subjective. Everyone has its favorite food. So you may not like avocado. Avocado actually is very fat, and you may think, well, it tastes like nothing. There are people who love it, people who hate it, but generally speaking, fats are the ones that give flavor to things, and also a different consistency, which is nice to feel in the mouth. The third reason why is that they enable the fullness center in our brain. Now, I know this center doesn't work really well. It's very slow and it's not very easy to be triggered, and usually when it triggers when after a while that you have been eating. So it's not as soon as you are full it triggers. No, as soon as you're full you keep eating because your brain doesn't still know you're full. And that's merely because, as I said in all my videos, or in a bunch of them, about the fact that we didn't adapt yet to the fact that there is all this abundance of food. So our body is not ready to a situation in which we can eat so much that we will feel full. And that's why. But though fats are the ones that enable this center in our brain, not only fats, but they do. The fourth reason is that they provide a caution to our vital organs. So they're a kind of protection. Now let me bring the example of these bodybuilders. I don't know why I always speak about bodybuilders. I'm certainly not one of them. I mean, if you think I'm a bodybuilder, you are in the wrong channel. But that's because they are the ones who take it to the extreme. So it's easy to bring them as an example. There are people who died because they went to an insanely low amount of percentage of body fat in their body that they just died. Because our body needs fats. We're talking about people going below 5% or close to 5%. That's not possible. Our body needs it. And you know, when you pinch your skin and it's like just pinching a piece of paper, that's really, and above all in some part of the body, like this part here, we need some fat in here. Trust me, there's no way. Or also in other places, but the belly is really obvious. If you pinch your belly, you should always have some thickness, not like as much as you pinch your bicep, for instance. But though, these are other topics. Then, was it the fourth? Yes, I think I said yes. So, high energy, tastes good, which actually let me bring another example about the taste good, because I got a friend who I say hello to. She will never see this video unless I'm gonna WhatsApp her, and unless she's gonna read my WhatsApp, because she doesn't use so many of these technologies. Hi Marianne, she's a very good person. She's one of my favorite people in the world. There are not so many, but she's one of them. So I never told her. Now hopefully she's going to know, but probably she won't. Moorish, they make food Moorish. Moorish, for those who don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but I want just to explain, it's when you want more of that thing. So that thing is Moorish because there is fat. Okay, the fourth is that fats, actually, let me rephrase it. There are vitamins, like the vitamins A, vitamins E, vitamin D, vitamin K. These are not soluble in water. They are only soluble in fats. Guess what? If you don't have fats, those vitamins, goodbye. And vitamins are pretty much useful, and I'm going to talk about them so much later in the course of these videos, because I have to speak about fats again, because I'm going to talk about cholesterol in the next video. Actually, no. I'm going to talk about the type of fat, the types of fat, and then in the one after, I'm going to talk about cholesterol. If you have read the articles in my blog, you already know that. So what I was saying, oh, vitamins, so this is the fourth. And the fifth is that they are part of the cell membranes, like, you know, myelin. Myelin is a very interesting topic. If you want, I can recommend a book. It's a book written by, can't remember the name of the writer, but definitely is The Talent Code. It doesn't relate to any fitness or things. It just speaks about how people can develop their talents. And he speaks widely about a substance which is in our brain, which is called myelin. I have to thank Cindy, another friend of mine, for she's the one who recommended to read this book. Hi, Cindy. So yeah, if you want to read it, and also they're not just part of that, but they're also part of the bone marrow, which is another thing that you probably want to keep having as long as you live. I'm not going to talk about the bone marrow in these nutrition videos, but if I ever, and I think I will, do videos about anatomy and physiology, if I speak about bones, bone marrow will be definitely in those videos. Obviously, the most important thing of all, there are essential fatty acids, which means that our body is not able to recreate by recombining all the molecules of nutrients that we have in our body. And these are omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. Now, we know that omega-6 and 9 are not really important because they are almost everywhere, but omega-3, for instance, are in certain foods, which I'm going to tell in the next video. They are already in the article. And so these are essential nutrients that we cannot reproduce without taking them from some food, and they are in fat. So let's recapping. I think I've said the whole thing, all the 7 macronutrients, all the 7 benefits of fats, which are the biggest storage of energy, taste good, sense of fullness, they cushion, they protect vital organs, they allow some vitamins to be absorbed by the body, they contain fatty acids, and they are part of the cell membranes, like the myelin, bone marrow, and other things that we really need. So this is why you should keep eating fat, but be aware, if you haven't watched the previous video, just have a quick look at it. It's in the playlist in the description below. Actually, I would recommend to watch the whole playlist if you have time. Maybe not all in a row, but you can save it for later. Because obviously, if I don't want you to think, okay, now I'm gonna eat a lot of fats. No, there are some boundaries. Like everything, as I said at the beginning, I'm never going to tell you not to eat a certain macronutrient. We need all of them, but everything in excess also is not beneficial at all. So keep following me, and I'm gonna tell you how much. I think I started to say how and how much in the previous video, in which I said 30 grams per day of saturated fats, for instance. I'm going to tell you why in the next video you don't want to eat the other fats, for which there is a poll in the previous video. And if you have read my articles in my blog, you already know the answer. And so, thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video. And don't forget to live healthy, so that you will eventually look good as well. Bye!